Hello, galactic travelers. Welcome to Venus tonight. I hope you hear her playing in the background. I had some Mercury on and it was like too freaking intense, so I had to turn it off. And honestly, I've been sitting here for a little bit because there's a lot of Mercury energy going on in the collective transit right now with Pluto, right? So if you've been having a ton of just thoughts and knowings and remembrances and your brain's just kind of going blah, 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 blah. This is why. And as always, I never know exactly what I'm going to talk about until I start talking to myself. But honest to God, here's what happened. Honest to Creator, here's what happened. You know, the past few messages that I did were very focused. You know, we had to get the RH negative video out. We had to get the Double Simian video out. Again, and this is so important, if you are neither of those things and you are here, thank you for being here. And this has everything to do with you as it does with the RH negatives and the Double Simians. This is so important to understand. I am not just saying this because I'm doing everything to be PC correct, okay? The reason that the RH negatives and the Double Simians have to get this is because since we are older souls, quite literally what we do in this new energy, consciously or subconsciously, affects the shift that is going on right now. This is why we're gathering. Whether it's through a mix of starseed DNA, astrology in your chart in reference to balance in different aspects, the lines on your hands, you know, your pull between Venus and Mars or Cancer and Capricorn or whatever it is, you know, in the middle of that astrology chart. Look at that astrology chart on astro.com. Go, please, Lord, if you haven't got your chart, get your chart. And then look in the middle, and what is it? It's an X. And that X is what? We know what X does. X marks the spot. That is the balance, no matter what. The lines on your head, hands, the blood in your veins, every living being, especially the ancient souls that are uncovering ancient knowledge. And this ancient knowledge is that we are one with the earth. We are all energy. What we say, what we focus on, what we put intent in or not, because if we're not consciously doing those things, guess what? It's getting chosen for us, because this energy that I'm speaking of has been being used against us as humanity to erase the ancient knowledge. That's why, this is why they don't want us to know, because they're using it against us. All we're doing is going through a process of shifting our energy out of this matrix hologram so that we can start living as sovereign beings and take this control back. But if you're all focused right now on the news and you're falling for all that bullshit that they're putting up there, then you ain't helping nobody and you ain't helping yourself. My shirt is like all kinds of going crazy here because I'm moving my hands so much. I didn't know this was going to be this little speech. I thought maybe. And remember, guys, I'm going through this too. You know, all I do as a being is my mission is here to show up and share. And to share the knowledge that's coming from the energies that I process in my body and my vessel, because I've gone through some of these cleansing things, but I'm not perfect and I have to remember all of it too. So much so that I'm sitting here right now and, you know, I'm not a big tarot card reader, but it's okay if you are. And, you know, astrology I use. I've been looking at my chart today. I've been looking at the transits because it's important for us to understand when these differences in our thought processes pop up and we know what's aspecting us in the chart, then we understand what the lessons are, and it tells us where to go to find what information we need. And if we don't talk to each other about it, then we can't unlock the keys in each other. And quite literally, that's what it is. But because I'm going through this mental process myself, and I honestly, you know, I feel great right now. I'm going to say that because I feel great, because the energy, that's what I need to say. But it took all my energy to pull up to do this video right now. So please, take a deep breath and know that Mercury is a trickster, and that what's happening is that as our frequency raises and we have these synchronicities that we dive into and start, you know, unpeeling like an onion who and what we were, what we want to eat, just the crap we know all of a sudden. But as that happens, we have to continue to shift. We have to continue to move forward. And the only way to do that is to process the information and then not define it. As humans, we want to define things. We've been taught to define things. We've been taught to say, okay, this is a girl, this is a boy, this is an African American, this is white. Well, we've been taught to define ourselves as from what our parents did and from how they learned. But remember, they did the best they could. The internet is what really changed and allowed for this process to happen. There's so many events that have unfolded in synchronistic form in order for us to be here right now. And what we have as ancients What we have to be able to get past is the hate for this Drako reptilian hostage situation that happened on our planet. Because only through balance of the heart and of pure compassion and love of every situation can we continue to shift. I'm not saying forgive them. I'm not saying, because they're going, it's over. The only reason that it's still here right now is because everyone's focusing on it. Stop watching it. And let it fall and focus on the future and release the anger. Do whatever you have to do. Go into meditation. And release the anger and whatever emotion is coming up right now for you. You might not even have gotten to the point where where you think you're mad at the Drakos. You might still be mad at your mama, or you might still be mad at yourself. It doesn't matter who and what it is. They're all levels that you have to get through. And if you don't do the emotional part, if you don't deal with it, then you aren't going anywhere. The only way I know how to deal with it is to create a and I keep saying this, but it's true. It's a galactic perspective. There is no light. There is no dark. Jesus was one of us. He taught the energies the best way he knew how to describe. And it was his mission to do it that way. But the message was always that you could do it yourself. The message was always, don't bow down to him. Don't worship him. The message wasn't that he is God. The message was, we will have Christ consciousness on this planet one day, and we will live free, and we are one. So those of us who are trapped in our ego mind and aren't being conscious, and I slip out in and out. It's been tough the past couple of days. But I know that my mission is to help all of you understand too, because a lot of you don't even know that you're affecting the rest of us. When you process that emotion, the only way to do it is to connect a positive outcome from it in whatever way you can come up with one. For me, my truth with this Drako problem, right, is different than the one with my birth dad, or different than the one with my adoption, or different than the one with my rape, and different than the one, I mean, come on, guys. Again, we've all led some pretty crazy lives, even in this lifetime. So, from the Drako perspective, here it is. It's what had to happen to bring us to this point. For whatever reason, it is the evolution of humanity, but it's over. The only reason that it's not over is because this new energy, we don't understand that whatever we give our energy to is what is going to manifest. So you have to understand that. And then you have to understand that emotions are going to start coming up, and you're not going to want to deal with them. But the only way to deal with them is to release them. And then you have to release them with love from your heart, and you have to really mean it. And sometimes those big ones in the beginning take a little bit to come up with. But once you create a new reality, a new outcome that has a positive, then you attach that energy to it. And now you've created, which is what we are. We're creators. We all create our reality, whether you know it or not. You're either creating the future of something that is beautiful and of love and is sharing and is a world where we're all equal, because we are, especially those of us who are conscious beings. It's what 5D is. But it's a hard road to get there, because there's so much that we consciously can do to help ourselves. But if you don't create, if you just sit in the emotion and sit in the emotion and sit in the anger and sit in the anger and say, oh yeah, I'm conscious, I'm awake. Yeah, I'm conscious, I'm awake. Yeah, I can do this OBE stuff, and I can do this and I can do that. Okay, well, guess what? You're not grounding any light, and you're going the artificial intelligence. You're going the machine way. That's the way they want you to go. So these thoughts of like, you got a battle going on, well, damn straight, you got a battle going on. And if you don't process those emotions through your heart and clear it and allow your vibration to raise and allow your consciousness to shift, then they're going to keep taking you back and taking you back and taking you back. And the technology age, yes, we're going to have technology that's going to help us. But guess what? Our bodies are technology. Balance. And when we're balanced beings and we're conscious and we connect with the earth, connect your energy through your feet into the core of the earth. And then you close your eyes and you envision that energy going all the way up to the cosmos. And then my favorite one is your heart chakra goes out 6 feet in all directions and then start spinning it. Connect to the earth. If you're dizzy and you are really having a lot of dizzy spells or anxiety, those types of things, you need to ground. If you're shocking everything, you need to ground. Grounding means you need to connect to the earth. So you envision these light beams coming out of your feet chakras into the earth, and you anchor into the earth and you bring in more light. And this isn't mumbo jumbo. I'll do a video soon on the fact that the planets are changing. Venus is changing. She's waking up. It even looks like some matrix code on the side of her. There's mountains moving on Venus right now. It's lighting up. We have consciousness threads that are showing up in the middle of the Milky Way right over Lyra. This is really happening. And those of us that, are doing this work right this second are so important to ground it in, because the more that we can ground in the light, then the higher that we can shift the timelines. And whenever people stop looking at the bad and stop watching this Drako bullshit unplay. That's funny. it's propaganda. They want you to stress out. They want your fear. I mean, come on. Create that shield of light around you and work on you. The more you realize it, the more you're balanced, the more everything is okay. And not kidding. And you can shift your whole family. But I say all that, and then I was messing with me today, and I literally had to pull cards. Have my crystal. Because, you know, we're still going through this process of trusting ourselves. And I can get in a rhythm where I trust and I trust and I trust my intuition. And then I have days like today where, you know, I'm just not really sure. But then I don't ever go to bed without making a cognizant decision on stepping that up and either allowing myself to work it out in my dream state consciously, because you have to say it, you have to ask consciously for it to happen, you have to ask consciously for your angels, you have to ask consciously for your... No one can help, nothing, none of the energies can help you unless you accept the healing. They want you to believe, you know, that we have the flu and everyone's dying of the flu. And the real thing is the energies are coming and the solar flares are here and the energy is super strong. I feel it in my throat too. But these are chakra openings and we're shedding a lot of negative emotions. There's a lot of energy being passed through our bodies right now because we are shifting the planet. We are starseeds. We are balancers of the energy for the simians, the parakeet. That's what we're here to do. That is the ancient knowledge. And as we balance and as we ground it, then that sacred information is opened up even more and more in our dreams, in visions. And sometimes in just a blink of an eye, you see an entire situation unfold of a different dimension, in a different timeline. And then you know, yeah, this is real because I was there. And this is the lesson that I need to learn because that's why the ancients are here. That's why we're so important. We've learned the lessons. We can't make the same mistakes. And without each of you doing that and understanding and having that information for the collective, because once you have it, it's in the collective, we all pull from it. Once that is awakened, then we have a better shot of not repeating the same shit that has happened across so many timelines and so many galaxies. We've already made incredible history in all the universes. Everybody's being upgraded right now, but let's freaking make it stick and let's make it all count and let's shift the whole thing, the whole galaxy, all the universes. Everything's connected. It will shift. All of it will shift. And the faster that we do that, then whenever the current regime falls, which they're hanging on to last threads right now, it won't even matter because we're already there to catch. It's already been created. This is how this is supposed to work. So if you're feeling a lot of stress and tension right now because of your missions, because there's a lot of stress and tension right now for your mission, and if your life is going completely to crap right now, it's because you're not listening. Sorry, I went a little coach on everybody. It's all meant out of love for all of us. Because we have this incredible opportunity right now. And don't forget, you know, I'm basically Venus, Sun, Moon, and 4 planets in Libra. And we just went into Aquarius. And until we can leave all this polarity and bullshit behind, then Aquarius now feels a little weird. I'm getting yanked back. It's not necessary. We can do it. We've done it already. We just have to remember that we did and put it into play and shift us there. Because it's already been done. We're just walking the path. Because there is no time. There's only the now. And in the now, we're one. And in the now, we won. I love you guys. Love you, love you, love you. Please comment and tell me what you guys need to talk about right now. I'll post these frequencies. It's Venus in the background. We'll talk soon. Remember, don't let those mirrors, when that old ego pops up, tell it, not today, not today. That's my old way of thinking. Create a positive perspective. Create limitless goals for yourself. Limitless. But make it something you love. Because love is the frequency to this change. Hoot, hoot. Mwah. See you soon.